We just bought our second home at age 27.
And this is how we did it.
In this video, we're gonna show you exactly how we figured out what to buy, why we only needed 40% of our down payment in cash, and a full breakdown of what it looks like to buy an $800,000 home.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Mal.
And we're the Inbetweeners.
And we just bought our second property at age 27.
So to give you guys some context, back in 2017, Mal and I bought a home with my mom, and in early 2020, we ended up buying her out. We knew we wanted to buy more real estate in 2021, so fall 2020 is when we started planning our next purchase.
So the first step was figuring out what we could afford, both what we were comfortable with and on paper. So that meant getting pre-approved by a mortgage broker. So a mortgage broker is gonna look at a few things for pre-approval. Your income, your debt, your credit score, what you can put as a down payment, so kind of like your cash. And for us, because we were buying a second property, they're gonna look at the market rent that our original home can go for.
So taking a look at our numbers specifically, our income at the time was about $147,000. We had no bad debt, so no credit card debt, student loans, thank God. And our good debt was just our current home, which was about $1,361. They also looked at our credit score, which was in the high 700s. And for down payment, we had $60,000 in cash, and we were gonna pull $100,000 from our current existing home. And having looked at the market rent in the area, our home was gonna rent around $2,200. And after all that, our mortgage broker gave us the pre-approval of around $800,000.
So then we were ready to start looking. So what do we buy? We knew that we wanted to buy a second property to get into real estate investing. And we were debating between buying a rental and staying in our home or renting out our current home and buying something else. We liked the idea of buying a rental because it meant we could work with a smaller budget, but the smaller budget rentals were also kind of intimidating. We felt really good about what we could rent our current home for, and we just kind of wanted a lifestyle change to move more into the city. So we decided to look for a property that we would move into and then rent our current home.
And when we dove in deeper, we knew we wanted to be more central, so like walking distance to restaurants, shopping, coffee shops. We wanted at least a 2-bed, right? Because we work from home. We would love to have a backyard, garage, driveway, and besides that, we were pretty much open to the rest.
So next came the fun part, actually finding what property we were gonna buy. We'd been watching online for maybe about 8 months while we were waiting for our taxes to get filed so that we could have that pre-approval. And then it was like right as that happened, this place came up and it was just so perfect. So then it was on that Sunday, it was kind of a rainy day. Josh was like, what do you wanna do today? We were like, you know what, maybe we go check out that place.
Alexa, turn on all lights.
And we just knew, we were like, this is it. It feels like home. Like we wanted to change some stuff about it, but it already felt like home. I was literally taking photos of the open kitchen cabinets to be like, I have to figure out where things are going because we're moving here. So we decided to go home, and right away we sat down, we called like everybody we needed to call, and we figured out how to make the numbers make sense.
So one of the main things we started looking at is recent sales in the area. And it worked out perfectly because there was a sale of pretty much the exact same unit that sold 5 days ago for $770. So that kind of fit within our budget. We knew we didn't want to max out our pre-approval, so we're looking at a max $780 to spend, which turns out to be roughly $2,400 in a mortgage payment. So that worked perfectly. We decided to reach out to the realtor, put a bully offer in, and we ended up getting it. But last minute, there was another offer that came through. So it was a little bit stressful, but we came out on top. If you're liking the video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for new money videos every Monday.
So let's talk about the numbers, starting with the mortgage. So the purchase price we went with was $770,000. So with that, we put 20% down, which is $154,000. And before you think that was all cash, $60,000 of that was from our savings, so 30 grand each. And then we took $94,000 from a refinance from our first home.
So what exactly is refinancing? It's essentially pulling money from your existing home by increasing your mortgage. For example, if you had a $300,000 home and you wanted $50,000 from it, you would increase your mortgage to $350,000, and the $50,000 would be pocketed in your bank account.
So that left us with a total mortgage of $616,000 and monthly payments of about $2,366, so just under $2,400, which is exactly what we wanted. With this mortgage, we got a 2.3% interest rate, and the term is 30 years, which means we're basically setting ourselves up to pay this mortgage over the next 30 years, and we could do that because we did a 20% down payment. So that was a best case scenario for us because it let us get the mortgage payments monthly as low as possible.
So after the offer is accepted and after all the due diligence is due, on closing date, we owed a ton of money to the lawyers, and that amount was $170,000.
And just to be clear, that's not paying our lawyers. Our lawyers are just the one that's taking the money.
And for us, that total amount was $170,000, which majority of it was a down payment of $154,000, and the rest is just your closing fees, like your land transfer tax. Yes, when you buy a home, you pay tax on the land you're buying home on. And that ended up around $11,875. We also had adjustment costs, which we're pretty much giving the money back to the sellers because they paid for something for the whole year, but obviously they're not going to stay in the home for the whole year, right? So we had to pay our portion of that.
Like an example?
An example would be our association fees that covers snow removal, right? And another example is the property tax. So they already paid for the full year of 2021, so we just paid our share of it. The next cost would be our lawyer fees, and that was about $999. And that's $1,000. And then we had our title insurance and title search fees for a total of about $14,000 additional from our down payment, which was the whole total of $170,000.
So those extra costs kind of sneak up, so it's really important that you know what you're expecting in those scenarios. And the last thing we spent money, our hard-earned money on, was some renovations for the new place. So we really loved this place, and we love that we didn't have to do that much to it, but we knew there was some small stuff we could do that would make a huge difference. So we spent about $10,000 on the home when we first moved in. So that included painting the entire interior, including the kitchen cabinets, getting them sprayed, new flooring, upstairs, basement, and kitchen, redoing the hardwood on the main floor, a little bit of landscaping, some furniture, and it was a lot. But if you guys want to see that full breakdown in a video, let us know. We'll make you a whole video of how we went about it. I'd say we did pretty well cost-wise, and we'll share that with you guys if you want to see it in a video.
And that is it. That is how we bought our second property. If you like this video, you're gonna be in for a treat. You're gonna like everything else that we're gonna talk about, from money to investing and business. So see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
I think that's good.